Katrina here. A couple of days ago, Jessie, a new member at the e-commerce fuel private forum, has posted this in, and it's just such a great idea. And there's a lot of content marketers who know how to do this, and there's a lot of content marketers who actually do this. But to see it broken down by Jessie into these steps, I just thought it was so accessible, really easy to understand. And I believe, I'll need to check with him, but I believe he's actually, you know, done it, actually executed on this and had good results. But so what I tend to do when I see something like this, when I see a little bit of gold advice like this, is I tend to think, well, how am I going to execute it within my business? How am I actually going to get it done? So what I'll do is I'll just show you, this is essentially how I break things down and start to plan them, because I've found as well, and I've learned this from Alan Marek recently did this as well in the e-commerce fuel community. He's done this amazing content process, but the beauty of it is he breaks it down into these little chunks, and that's what you need to do to execute on anything. So this is sort of how I plan. So the first thing, and I'll go through, there's a lot of steps in here, but I'll go through the basic idea is that as Jessie's pointed out, related questions, or the people also ask queries in the search engine results pages get very popular. So you can see here the why. RQs, I call them RQs because that's what they used to be called, but they're the people also ask. They get 88% of the SERP traffic, and I'll just show you what one is. So this is, I've just typed in best car seat covers, and these are, you know, all the Google properties now. So as we know, Google's monetizing all the organic. And there's also this zero-click concept that's coming through. But this is the people also ask section. And these are 4 of those questions. And Jesse's brilliant idea is he essentially he goes and looks through all of these and creates content on them. Now, that panel there, if we go over to Moz, we can see the past history for the past 30 days. And I'll just click on the related questions one. And you can see how it sort of bounces around a little bit, but essentially it's showing up between 88.1% and 88.6% of all queries in the search engine. So it's a hugely powerful position if you can get into it. The problem, of course, is that there's a zero-click issue with it. But, you know, there's ways of getting those clicks. But anyway, that's just a different topic. The other interesting thing is I showed a couple of my friends this, who I'm in a private Skype chat with. And Lee said this, and I'll come back to these top 2 bits in a minute, but Lee said, according to the Google patents, those people also ask questions are questions that people have typed into Google directly after typing the seed keywords you used. It's not Google deciding on what other people might want to know. It's literally what people want to know. So if I go back over to this one here, my plan here, this is another why. It's part of the Google patent, and it's literally what they're typing in. So that's another really good reason to do this, because it's really spot on with that user intent. So if that's literally what they're typing in, it's a perfect match with user intent. So now we've got the fact that it shows up 88% of the time, and then it's also user intent focused. And then there's also keyword clusters. So just an old SEO practice is essentially, if you're creating content on car seat covers and you create 50 articles on it, that keyword cluster can help improve your performance in the search engines. And then there's this silo aspect. So what Jessie was also saying was that, I'll just go back to he essentially creates all of that content, and then he links it back to his money page. And so I'll talk, it doesn't say that, he doesn't actually say to link it back to the money page. And that's maybe, okay, I thought he would have said that. Maybe he probably knows that. But anyway, so the idea is that Silos are, and HubSpot's written a brilliant article on this. I couldn't exactly find it. I think I've got it, but I couldn't exactly find it. But all the best sort of content marketers understand this concept of creating silos, where you create a keyword cluster of articles and then you point it to a money page. You point it back to a money page, and that silo or category or whatever it might be, that creates a really great effect. And anyway, and I'll get onto that over here in a sec. So the second step is, now that you've got that general concept, that what you're doing is you're grabbing content out of the search engines here, and then you're rewriting that content to create 60 to 80 articles that are unique. Now, the next step is you need to get a copywriter. In our case, we've got a full team of copywriters. We've got something like 20 plus copywriters. So we would just go ahead, do a brief and create a ticket. If you don't have a copywriter, we are just changing Kazi work over to copywriters. Because I'm making this for the e-commerce fuel community, there's a coupon code for free access for e-commerce fuel members. Just knock yourselves out. There's a bunch of good writers in there at the moment, so I just sort of clicked on Wenjiku, and she is $2 an hour. Here she's got a bunch of sample articles. You can click on her resume. You can see that she can write. You might want to offer her more than $2 an hour to get her attention. But essentially, let's see if I've opened. Juliet is another one. 250 Kenyan shillings an hour is around about maybe $2.50. And again, you can see that she can write. She's got a resume there you can look at. Musien has done an interview with her to make sure that we've got a little bit of conversation going back and forth, some sample articles. So there's really we really try to vet these people. Sometimes we lose their attention if they don't get employed fast enough, but they are all good copywriters. And if you belong to e-commerce fuel, then there's a coupon code. Just search my name or something, and you'll get that coupon code to show up. Okay, so that's that step done now. Then the next step is, as Jessie said, is to create this spreadsheet template. Now, I'll just show you something that I discovered when I actually go to grab the content. These are all on topic because, let's say I sell car seat covers. These are all on topic. Most comfortable, leather, best, what's the most durable. As long as you click and close, as long as you click on something that's quite relevant, it shows more content that's relevant to that keyword cluster. So it does seem to, in my experiments, if I clicked on something that was kind of not related, I'll just see if this one does it for me. If it was kind of just off topic, then the related questions seem to move away from the original topic. So your copywriter, or whoever you get to do this, needs to know that they need to, if I sold sheepskin seat covers, if I didn't sell sheepskin seat covers, I shouldn't click on that, because see how it automatically finds another sheepskin one? So that's what I'm saying is, you just got to be careful about which ones you click on. If you don't want to sell sheepskin covers, you don't want to rank for it, you don't want to put the money into that, just be careful about that one thing. That's one thing that I learned from just actually going through the process. So then you go through Jessie's process of create this spreadsheet, which essentially gives you all your original content. Then you've got to get the content rewritten. Now, because of course we run a content team, we have got rewrite training. So we've just got rewriting article guidelines that our writers use. And you can sort of see the headings here. This is, what we use in our team, just to help people actually know how to rewrite, what our expectations are for a rewrite. And then we've also got other training that actually teaches how to do People Also Ask type writing. So we've got that going for us, but you can get plenty of that online, or just ping me if you're from the e-commerce fuel community, and I might be able to share it with you. There was another thing that we were sort of talking about here with Lee and my friend Rob. Now, Kyle Roof recently did a presentation. I want to say it was at the recent Thailand, Chiang Mai SEO conference. I think it was an Authority Hacker conference. And Kyle Roof did this rhinoplasty garden grove experiment, and you can Google it, and it's really interesting. And what Lee's referencing here is Surfer SEO and Page Optimizer Pro. Those are two tools, and I'll just give you a little peek into those, because what Kyle's thesis is that, it's one thing to rewrite, but to really show up in that position, you kind of need a good keyword density. So this is the Garden Grove rhinoplasty concept. Go and sit down. Sorry, dog's just knocking at the door. And you can see he's used lorem ipsum text. And then he's literally put in some very particular keywords, and he was able to rank number 1, etc. There was some sort of competition, but it sounds like a really fun experiment and competition that they did. I think he actually owns Page Optimizer Pro. I should probably Page Optimizer Pro. I'll just show you what it looks like so that you know. Come sit down. So that you know that this is actually what this one looks like. The interface of this one is a little bit more complex than Surfer SEO. So we've used Surfer SEO instead, but one of my friends, Rob, uses this, and another friend uses Surfer SEO, and we use Surfer SEO. So in our case, this is just an article that we put into Surfer SEO, and you can just see that it says the top ranked articles use these terms. And so what you do is you essentially say SaaS learning management of using SaaS. You'll see this 0 out of 3 change, SaaS learning management. So see how that goes from 1 to 0 out of 3 to 1 out of 3. And so, I'll put in so you can see 22 out of 23. How do I get that to be green? Now it's green. So we're running experiments at the moment where we're taking some of our content and we're following exactly what Surfer SEO's recommendation is, and then we're going to watch the rankings. And so again, Rob has already done this process, and he said a lot of his stuff has changed in ranking, so I think it's well worth a try. So that is, and then so that is that leveling up with Surfer SEO. So we've got our writers on our team who know how to use that tool. And again, you can just easily teach them how to do it. If you just get one of the writers out of Kazi work, it's just a matter of breaking it down and teaching them. And then Lee, of course, sort of says, getting internally links from those question answers to the money page. And I think that's the only thing that maybe Jesse didn't mention in his. So we would then put a CTA link in for if it was a client, and then we would link through to a money page. Examples of money pages are buying guides, cost of articles, and category pages. And I'm about to talk to Jeff Oxford, who most of you will know from 180 Marketing. Just search his name in the forums. But I'm about to talk to him in a few minutes, and I'll get some more ideas for what money pages that he has had success with his link building business, with working for a whole bunch of ECFers. But so that's essentially extrapolating on Jesse's idea and amalgamating some of our ideas and training, and so we are going to run that through for some of our clients, and we're just basically going to, our writers will just go and just get it done and publish it, and then we'll start tracking and sort of working out whether it works. But from all indications, it will work. But again, so I hope this was helpful. It's a matter of just choosing those. I think choosing the keywords that you want to attract for, and clearly, it's just things like car seat covers or whatever it is that you sell. Just choose a couple of those keywords, but it does need to link through to a money page. It can link through to a product page if you're an e-commerce store, but if you are perhaps a service business or something like that, then you'd have a different type of money page. You can still have a buying guide for car seat covers, and that works really well for gaining backlinks, and also obviously position in the search engines. And cost of is such a great keyword as well to use for money pages. So a little bit of a breakdown, and thanks to everyone for their contribution of all their ideas. It makes everything so much easier and better. Okay, bye.